Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another website review by Helpdesk. I'm your host, and today we are talking about a lovely little website that a good friend of mine, friend of the High Soapbox actually, uh, Madam Mariah, actually put me onto. Apologize for some of the little background noise, still working some kinks out in our new setup. But before we get started, I would like to tell you about our little merch store. You can get shirts like this, the Internal Screaming t-shirt, by going to the little link down in the description. That's bit.ly/HIMRKT. So, this is the website. This is why I'm broke. Now, for those who have watched previous episodes, you would know how much I am of a stickler for design. But what I'd like to show you is this website was not necessarily built for desktop, as most websites in today's day and age are not. This website was built for mobile. So let's take a little look. So this is the rough dimensions of what this website would look for like on a phone screen. So we have a little sidebar, which I will say this is one of the better sidebars I have seen. And one of the problems with doing lowercase typeface is sometimes capitals fall through the cracks. But what they've done here is very good. It's so easy to miss little things, but they didn't. So I really have to give them props on that. And they also have an obscene amount of categories that appears to be maintained very well. This sidebar is one of the better ones I've seen. In fact, it kind of makes me want to go work on haggardinnovations.com and make it a little bit better. But I digress. Let's talk a little bit about the logo up top. So it's very thin. It's very thin and wide, which on cell phones is very, very important because when you don't have a lot of on-screen real estate to work with, you want to be able to have your logo display, but it not be the thing that takes up the most amount of view. So having a by default logo like that is very, very important and very, very good. And I will say that the barcode and having that as the serial number at the bottom is a excellent design. So, what is this website in actuality? In actuality, it is a aggregator that finds cool shit all over the internet and aggregates it into one place for you to find. So, if you look, they're actually kind of funny. But then you have other things that are wholly practical, like this prefabricated home, or things that are insidious. But we're not here to talk about the content. We're here to talk about the design. And I wish that they had the option to change the letter and number coloring depending on the photo you're looking at. Because when you look at this on the background, it's a little harder to see. The fact that they have a stronger stroke weight surrounding each individual character is helpful, but I mean, it's a little more difficult to see. I will also say that having a little bit of a hover for the button also makes it stand out, because on something like this, where some of the coloring in the background kind of overshadows it, or certainly like this one, that definitely helps. The other thing I'll say is that there is relatively no weight when it comes to scrolling through. So with an aggregating site like this, you really need to make sure the content is constantly rolling out over and over and over and over and over again. You can't have somebody waiting for long periods of time for their content to load. And part of why this site does this as well as it is, and I'm not harping as much on the overarching design of the body and the web page and taking the desktop into account, is because it has to be that lightweight. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot for these things to roll over. For example, For Drop Squad Kitchen, that website doesn't host a lot of content or aggregate anything, so it's okay for it to take a little bit longer because the cookies and stuff that are downloaded to the phone are not as numerous as it would be with a site like this. Let's take a little look at some of the other pages. Let's say housewarming. So when you hit on so I like this. So they have a little bit of a description. The problem with descriptions is if you don't stay on top of it, sometimes your automation will eventually oversaturate, and there will be a bug, and the entire description of just all 3 pages of it will be on the one page, and it just looks awful. But they seem to have done a very, very good job of keeping everything filtered without actually cutting off any important information. So, which is making me thinking this is less partially aggregated, but also partially curated in the same way. I also like how they have links to your sources, so you know exactly where you're going to before you click on something. Because going to Amazon or Etsy is fine, but going to some no-name dropshipping site that I've never heard of before, that's a bit harder of an ask, if you catch my drift. Let's look at a couple more pages, and then I think I'll give my verdict. What's new? Oh, okay, so they also seem to do articles as well, and they are using a lot of the similar type of aggregation tools that they used, but they're also like staying true to the point of the site. Like they have your gift guides up at the top, but then you're right back into scrolling. You're right back into consuming that content. So while a little could be considered by some as a little insidious, it's good design for an aggregation site, and I have to give them props for that. Let's check out gift guides, and this is this is their archive of all their different stuff. So this is actually fairly good. So very tight. There's not a lot of space between each individual guide, so you're able to just scroll through everything very, very quickly. And their footer, simple. Got the logo, got the name, legalese, links to everything important. Perfect footer. It's not bloated. It's not filled with extra crap that nobody needs to care about. It's just hook, line, sinker, exactly what you need. Yeah, I have to say I don't think aside from the maybe some of the font choice and font color choice, I don't really have anything bad to say about this website. They did a very, very good job, and the reason why I'm not giving it as much flack for design as I have others is the focus here is not design. It's making sure everything runs smoothly, and they did that. Either way, this has been HIMedia Help Desk. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out this website. We will see you guys next time.